few months ago, I was reminded that I'm not invulnerable. The day was the 2nd of March, 2016. Rewinding for a little backstory, I was coaching the girls' JV soccer program at Mid Carolina High School, along with one of my good buddies, Matt Lugo. Matt and his wife Taryn have known my family for a few years at this point, and our families are pretty good friends. Matt was the one who got me into coaching and has been a soccer coach himself for years. There's never a dull moment with Matt. He's easygoing and enthusiastic about everything. Matt's house was in between mine and the high school, so I drove to his house and we carpooled. In preseason, the JV and varsity were combined, so there was no problem with us riding together. But as the season began, we quickly realized that something was going to have to be worked out. My team and his team played on separate fields, just far enough away to make it an inconvenience to walk. Matt, being the easygoing guy he is, allows me to take his car and drive over to my field after he has all his stuff out at his. This worked great. We carpooled, saved gas, and we were both able to drive to our field. My team finished at 5:30 and his was done at 6. Perfect. This system worked great, and about a month went by. Then that fateful day of March the 2nd rolled around. There was nothing unusual about the day. Everything was the same as it always was. I drove to Matt's and we drove up to the school. He got his stuff out and I drove off to my field. I got to the light not 100 yards from the varsity field and made the left turn onto the road that led to my field. I was slightly annoyed as we were a little later than usual and school had already let out. This meant crazy high schoolers driving around. But I wasn't as worried as I should have been. The traffic was backed way up into the turn lane I used to get onto my field, but someone stopped and let me through. So I waved and thanked them as I pulled into the gap, checked for traffic, and went. Now this is where I wish I remember how well I checked. You hear how moments like the one I was about to encounter go in slow motion. Well, it's true. I remember slowly pulling forward and looking as I was about to cross over and onto my field. And out of nowhere, bang, was hit. T-bone. Well, sort of. A high schooler had nailed me head on and slammed into the front side of my car. The impact generated from the speed of the oncoming car spun my car around and pushed me forward about 8 to 10 feet. I sat there, stunned, and I remember thinking, how did this happen to me? I've never been in an accident or even gotten a ticket of any kind. I was almost in a state of mind that was, well, invulnerable. I never remember seeing her. The crash was a complete surprise. I only barely in the road when she hit me, so I couldn't see her. As I finally came to my senses, I immediately looked over to the girl in the other car. I was trying to get her to motion to me a thumbs up or a thumbs down as to whether she was okay or not. At the same time, I was making sure that I didn't have any injuries either. After attempting to get her to motion, I jumped out of the car and went over to check on her. Turns out she was okay and had just jarred her knee. I got over to the passenger side and called the police. After that, I had to call Matt. He had one of his players drive him over and we waited for the trooper to show up. The car was in bad shape. The front right tire was smashed into the wheel well and rendered the car immobile. The front windshield was cracked into 1,000 pieces, but luckily it didn't shatter. After a while, the trooper showed up and did his evaluation of the scene. The whole ordeal took several hours and turned out against me because I was in her lane. Nothing I said was going to change that. It was ruled by the trooper completely my fault and the ticket was given to me. Matt is, like I said before, very laid back and forgiving. He took it much better than anyone else I know would have. I'm thankful for that because I felt absolutely terrible about it. It gave me a new respect for vehicles and showed me that I'm not invincible in them. I will never turn through a line of traffic again. There's just not enough vision of the road to make the turn. It was the hard way to learn this lesson, but like I said, I have a new respect for driving and take extra caution when I'm behind the wheel.